Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. I'm excited to talk to you today about a topic that I believe is important to people around the world. Today, we're talking about purpose driven. Purpose can't be fired. And if you're watching this episode and you're someone who is looking for another opportunity, you're looking for opportunities professionally, you're looking for contracts, if you are a freelancer, then what I'm going to talk about today is going to give you the step-by-step tips on how you can look for opportunities that align with your purpose. You can look for opportunities that are aligned with what you love. And we're going to also talk about how your purpose cannot be fired. So don't go anywhere. Stay right there. If you stay to the very end, we're going to go through several different platforms that you can use, like Upwork, LinkedIn, and a variety of other platforms to deploy your purpose. So we'll be right back with this special episode, Purpose Driven, Purpose Can't Be Fired. And so we'll be back right after this brief sponsorship message.
Dreaming of writing a book, launching a podcast, or creating a digital course? Ready to finally align your career, creativity, and impact? The Purpose Aligned Life Premium Coaching Cohort is here to help you turn purpose into reality. You'll receive tailored services, a personalized one-on-one assessment, 10 weekly group sessions, and exclusive strategy session, all for your desired transformation.
And if you're interested in the Purpose Aligned Life Premium Group Coaching Program, there will be more information on how you can register. So let's get right into it. I want you to put your questions in the chat, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat as best as I can. So feel free, if you're watching on YouTube, to put your questions in the YouTube chat. I will do my best to follow the chat. Now, if you're someone who has a desire to have another opportunity professionally. And I thank you so much, Wendy, for saying hello. Thank you, Bao, for saying hello. Then one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that it's important to use the gifts, the talents, and the purpose that you have to really make an impact in the world. Now, one of the things that I hear often is, well, what do I do if what I'm doing doesn't align with my purpose, but I'm in a career that has a great salary and I don't want to risk sacrificing my salary for doing what I love? And that has been a question that's been asked, and it's a great question. And you don't have to start over from scratch. You're actually starting from the experience that you have. So if there's something that you're doing, and we'll use an example, if you are someone who has been in IT, perhaps you were in the military and that was the career that you were given in the military, to work in the IT field, and you really do not have a desire for that, but you love training, right? You love helping to develop others. Well, think back through your career. Think back to the times as an IT systems engineer or systems specialist, whatever your position was, that you had to explain to an end user how to use a particular software or how to use hardware that was installed. You want to reflect on those opportunities, and you want to be able to capture everything that you did that in some way had to develop and train others. And you want to highlight that, and you can start highlighting it within your resume, highlighting it within your LinkedIn profile, and in other places that you've put your professional information. And that's going to help you to pivot without starting over, but you can use all of the expertise that you have. And if there's a more specific situation that pertains to you that you want to ask about, put it in the chat, and I'm happy to address it. Now, I want to go and talk about specifically, because there are people, I've been seeing different posts in different places lately in different groups, and I've been seeing posts on profiles just indicating that people are looking for work, they're looking for opportunities. And I also hear about people who want to make a transition from what they're doing because they know that it no longer serves them. So oftentimes You have expertise. There's something that you know that other people don't know. There's something that you know that people would love to learn to do. And there's also people who are looking for someone who can provide freelance work. Just this morning, I was online and I was in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, and someone was asking for recommendations for someone who can engage with social media management for their profile, for their company, for a new product that they are launching. And I was able to recommend someone right away and with just a reply in the comments. And after that, that individual reached out to the person who I recommended. It would not be any different if you were the person who had the expertise and you could actually share in the comments that you're interested in that opportunity. But I'm not going to delay any further. And thank you, Mark, for saying hello. And thank you, Rock. Looks like you're joining from Poland. So thank you so much for watching from Poland today. And so I want to just take an opportunity to show some things that I saw on Upwork, because I was actually browsing through Upwork earlier today because I wanted to take a look at what was out there so that as I was preparing for this live today, I could share that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share my screen, and some of these things, thank you so much for saying that I always bring wisdom and encouragement. So I want to actually share my screen, and I want to show you some of the things that are on Upwork, and I want to show you the different categories that are available. And this works both ways. So if you are a professional, you're a freelancer, you have skills, and thank you, Krishana, for saying that this speaks to you directly, then you can actually look for freelance opportunities on Upwork. So I am sharing my screen. So for anyone who's watching, if you can just at least give me a thumbs up, I can see that that it's displayed. So on Upwork, and this is without even logging in, I'm just going to click on Find Work, right, on Upwork, and it gives you an opportunity to search by category. You can search if you're looking for design and creative opportunities, if you're someone who's in an administrative capacity and you want to look for admin and support opportunities. So this works both ways. So if you're a freelancer, you can find work. If you are a person who's a business owner, or you are the decision maker at a corporation, at a company, and you want to hire a contractor instead of hiring a traditional employee, this is another option for you if your company allows you to do that, for people who are at corporations and other companies. But for entrepreneurs, for small business owners, if you want to contract with freelancers, Upwork is one of the platforms that you can do that. We're going to get into LinkedIn a little bit later, but I want to talk first specifically about Upwork, because you can be anywhere around the world and look for opportunities. So I'm going to start in the space of marketing. I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to go to AI and emerging tech. And so I'll just be using the back function for this. And so I'm going to start with digital marketing. And these are opportunities. There are 8,487 digital marketing opportunities posted on Upwork at this time. And I'm not going to click on the Find Work. I'm just going to scroll through so that you can see some of the ones that are coming up on this main page that has opportunities in this category. So you can see someone is looking for a performance marketer for inventory, an inventory platform, and this is within the U.S. and for the U.S. and Europe, and they're looking for someone at entry level, hourly, for 1 to 3 months. They're going to determine the number of hours. You can apply directly on here. You can, so you can bid for these different opportunities. Here's a digital marketer for lead generation. This is a fixed price. They're going to pay $200 for this. They want intermediate level experience, and they're expecting that this project will be for 1 to 3 months. Someone wants a Twitter growth strategist for 1 to 3 months, and they're looking for someone to work less than 3 hours a week. And it shows the responsibilities: internet marketing, Facebook marketing, and I'm going to also scroll down a little bit, and I'll just choose one of these to expand so that you can see the additional information. And I want to let you know that this is just information that I'm providing. I don't have any agreements with Upwork. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. I'm just giving you an option of how you can find freelance work, or if you're someone who's looking for a freelancer, then you can post an opportunity here. It has an opportunity for you to look for talent here as well. Now, I'm going to go to this Facebook ads expert. So someone is looking for a Facebook ads expert. This one is private, so you have to actually log in for that one. There's a freelance email marketing specialist. So I clicked on this one. This one, they are looking for someone to do email marketing for them and to manage and grow their CRM, right? So they're looking for someone to do this remotely. And of course, each opportunity that's going to be posted is going to say what the person who has posted the opportunity, what they will pay. Now, I'm going to just go back. I just went back is what I did. They're offering me a gift card to answer some questions, but I'm just going to go back to find work. And I want to look at some of the things, some of the other options, just so you can see. So I'm going to look under AI and emerging tech jobs. And I'm going to look at perhaps OpenAI jobs. This is just OpenAI. There's 2,809 artificial intelligence jobs that are posted currently. So I'm just going to scroll through. You can see all of the different opportunities, or some of the different opportunities. There's pages and pages and pages. I'm going to go to this AI video and image generation expert. This is actually something that I know how to do. I know how to do creation of videos and images using different AI tools. And so again, you can see what they're offering, but everything is going to be different. I saw something earlier today that someone was looking for someone to video capture themselves doing house chores, right? So these are individuals who are looking for illustrators, but you can go through the various categories to see. Maybe you want to look at admin and customer support, and you can look at the different categories. Maybe you want to do remote medical billing and coding. Maybe a spreadsheet job, but all of these will tell you what the salary is. So there's virtual assistant opportunities that are listed here, administrative support, so executive assistant opportunities. So I'm just clicking so you can just see some of the things that are available. So there's someone in Southern California who wants someone to be their marketing and administrative assistant. This is a general contractor in Southern California. So you can see, the type of work that they're looking for. All of the details are there in terms of what the work encompasses, right? So everything is there. Now, this is just an example, and I've been looking at Upwork, so let me stop sharing my screen for just a moment here. And again, this is a very interesting topic that we're talking about. We're talking about being purpose-driven, that your purpose can't be fired. And I want to switch over to LinkedIn as well, because I want to show you all that LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to set up your profile if you're a premium LinkedIn member. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can take a look at LinkedIn, because that's another platform that you can look for opportunities on. You can also join groups on LinkedIn, join groups on Facebook. People are sometimes looking for, based on what your expertise is in, they are often looking for people who can provide freelance work or who they can contract with. So you don't have to wait on someone to hire you in the traditional setting. You can look for opportunities that are remote and allow you to do freelance work, and you can do it from anywhere around the world. I remember when I was in Ghana back in February and I was speaking at the University of Cape Coast, and several of the students expressed that there are not adequate opportunities in Ghana for their particular field, and for the ones who have opportunities there, they're not happy with the salary. So using the tools that are available to you online, Upwork, LinkedIn, and Fiverr, a variety of other platforms, you can identify opportunities from anywhere around the world for people who are looking for freelancers. So remember, that your purpose can never be fired. And so we're going to take a look at LinkedIn. I see that there's questions that I didn't have an opportunity to see when I was sharing my screen because I couldn't see both at one time. But Jeffrey asked a question, how do you discover your true purpose in life? So many of you who have, watched Purpose Today previously, you know that I am a woman of faith, and we go to our Creator to discover our purpose. He reveals our purpose to us. And so I also, that's the priority, right? Is having, praying and asking God to reveal your purpose to you. That is the way that you know it. But I want to also share that oftentimes we are ignoring our purpose because we have a deep desire. We have a deep desire for something. And usually that deep desire will point to your purpose. Perhaps you have a deep desire to ensure that youth are able to read, to resolve literacy issues. Perhaps you have a desire to ensure that individuals who are elderly are not left behind with all of the changes in technology, and they have access to the information that they need to ensure that they have proper health care, to ensure that they have their whatever they need for daily living activities. And so usually a deep desire that we have on the inside of us will also be an indicator of our purpose. And it's in taking action on those deep desires, it begins to be revealed and uncovered even more. But again, remembering to first have prayer as the first action in that regard. Jeff has a great question that you've asked. What's the biggest obstacle to walking in purpose? So one of the biggest obstacles to walking in purpose is having the improper mindset or improper perspective, thinking that it's impossible to be paid for what your purpose to do, thinking that it's impossible to be paid for what you love, thinking that because you've been in a certain career, you're required to stay in a career just because you have a long tenure in that career. So mainly the biggest obstacle is just really mindset and misconceptions. And I think the way to overcome those misconceptions and the mindset is really to those positive affirmations and being able to, affirm that you can do what you love and be aligned with purpose and get paid for it. We look at solutions that have been solved around the world. People have had a desire to do that they've, resolved, and it's given great returns. I know for me, when I made a transition from Intel to HR, one of the things that was said to me is, there's no money in HR, right? And I said, well, this is what I feel purpose to do, so I'm going to make a pivot. And after that, I was promoted 5 times in 8 years. And in the federal government, that is really unheard of. I see a question from Clive Root. What advice would you give someone feeling lost right now? That's a good question, Clive. The advice that I would give someone who is feeling lost is I would actually ask them to just take a moment. And, of course, prayer is always, my first recommendation. And then also to be reflective, identify why you feel lost. and identify whether or not there's something that you are abandoning that you've been dreaming about. Because sometimes we feel lost, absence of, purpose. Sometimes we feel lost, absent of pursuing the very dream, pursuing we feel lost because we don't really have a strategy. So I think it's first discovering and uncovering why it is that you feel lost, identifying, if there are some things that you have wanted to do that you haven't pursued, and if you're feeling lost because you're not clear on how to actually do a particular thing, then, I recommend doing some informational interviews and talking to someone who has done what you're desiring to do and has been successful with that. And then also considering a coach or a mentor, to help you to navigate through that. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to share LinkedIn. And that's another platform that I was mentioning that you can utilize to look for freelance opportunities. So I'm going to just share. If you have a premium profile on LinkedIn, you can add services to your main page. Now, you can edit the services that you have. Because I've already added services, would be where I would go to edit the services that I offer. So within adding service, so instead of edit, you would hit add service for someone who doesn't have that yet. So you want to put the type of services that you provide. Now, of course, there's a maximum number of services that it will let you select, and you'll select the services from within a category, right? So coaching and mentoring has certain services that are available. And so the reason that these are grayed out is because I've already selected the maximum number of things that I can actually select. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete something out just so I can add something else in, because it won't let me add anything else unless I remove something. But you can add what you desire to add in, and you can add it on whatever category, right? So you would pick what you want to do and in the category, and then you would select it. So once you've maxed out on those opportunities, it won't let you, or categories, it won't let you do it again. But you would just select what you desire to select. You can add your pricing in on your services page, or you can actually leave it and put contact for pricing. If there's any media or anything that you want to add, you can add it here. So you would just select the media that you would want to add. You can do images, links, and videos, right? And then you would just hit save. And you also can allow LinkedIn members who you're not connected with to message you, right, through your profile. So that is the way that you can do that. I just was going to do request reviews, but I was going to go to request, but I don't want to share my screen on that because it's going to have names, so I don't have a way to block that out on my screen sharing, and I don't want to share someone's information that I should not be sharing. But what will happen is you'll get the specific request. Now, I don't have a problem putting the notifications because I just want to show you that when you receive notifications, it's actually going to show you on your notifications button that you have new client project requests that are available to you. And you would simply hit view requests. So I'm not going to select that because I want to make sure that I'm protecting people's information. But that is how you use LinkedIn for the purpose of identifying potential project requests and potential clients, right? So I want to go back to the questions. Thank you, Dennis, for that compliment that there are so many powerful takeaways from this live stream. I really appreciate that. And I want to just say to everyone who's watching here, thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. I know that this is a very special segment. I decided to go live just with everything that I'm seeing, everything that I'm hearing, that, people actually are looking for opportunities, right? They're looking for opportunities to have freelance work. Some people are looking for traditional employment. Now, I can show you, and I guess I should do that. I'm going to share my LinkedIn screen to show you how to look for traditional employment on LinkedIn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click jobs, and I'm going to actually search. And if you have a profile built on LinkedIn, it'll give you recommendations based on your profile. And so I'll show you all that, but I want to make sure that I answer a couple of questions. And then in the jobs, if someone can type a job title in the LinkedIn chat, I mean, not the LinkedIn chat, but the YouTube chat, just drop a job title in the YouTube chat if you're chatting on YouTube, and I will use that job title to search on LinkedIn. If someone can just drop a job title there. What I'm going to do is I'm just looking back at the questions to see if there's something that I didn't answer. Krishana, great question. How can we present our purpose more confidently? The way that you present your purpose more confidently is you ensure that your purpose is clearly articulated. So once you have, just take some time with yourself to just write out your purpose and find a way to write it succinctly. And then once you can write it succinctly, then actually start talking about it with people who are in your close circle, like your friends, your family, right? And when you have a conversation with them about it, then you can present it more confidently when you're looking at opportunities for traditional roles, if you're looking for that, for freelance opportunities, if you're looking for that, for speaking engagements. So let me use for an example. My purpose is helping people to, align with and pursue their purpose. And so for me, when I have opportunities that are presented to me for speaking engagements, to serve on boards, I ask myself the question, does this align with my purpose? Of course, I pray about it, but I ask myself, does this align with my purpose? And when I'm talking to people, that excitement and that enthusiasm and that authenticity comes across. So Krishana, that was a very great question. And so when you talk about your purpose, there's a natural confidence and excitement that's going to come with talking about it. But I would say first, just write it down first and make sure you succinctly can have it written succinctly, and then start talking, about your purpose with your close friends and family. And then when you start talking about it in professional settings, you'll come across with confidence. I had someone who I was meeting with earlier on Zoom that was he was asking me about some things that have transpired since we spoke last time. And as I was sharing all the doors that have opened since we've last talked with things that align with my purpose, I was excited. He could see my excitement. So when you're in purpose, there's an authenticity, there's an excitement that comes with that. James, you are very welcome. Thank you for that compliment, and you are very welcome. I'm grateful that I can remind everyone to walk boldly in purpose. So just looking to see if there are, okay, so I don't see a job title in the chat, so I'm just going to pick one. So I am sharing my screen on LinkedIn. This is going to be very limited. I'm just going to do, I'm going to just put in, I'm going to do an operations manager. That's just what I'm going to put in. I just chose something random, right? So you can change the location. I'm doing this in case there's anyone who doesn't know how to look on LinkedIn for opportunities. This is searching Fort Lauderdale, but I'm going to change it to, let's see, where should I'm going to change it to Jackson, Mississippi. I spoke with someone in Jackson earlier today, and so I'm going to search within 50 miles of Jackson, Mississippi. within 50 miles. Okay, so this is going to show the results. Let me just change this. 50 miles, okay. Okay, 55 miles of Jackson, Mississippi, operations manager. It's still on Fort Lauderdale, so give me just a moment. I'm gonna delete Fort Lauderdale and then add Jackson, Mississippi again. And this is just for anyone who may not be familiar. Show results. Give me just a moment. Okay. Jackson, that's Jackson, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, so we have Jackson, Mississippi, 50 miles. So there are over 99 opportunities that relate to operations manager in Jackson, Mississippi. It's going to tell you how you, your experience of what you have in LinkedIn, how it relates, right? So I just want to be able to show you all this. I'm going to click on this operations and distribution manager opportunity. So you can see this is on site, it's full-time. You can actually change the search to do remote. So that's going to look at remote opportunities. There's a senior regulatory operations manager for Airbnb that's remote. You can see it's full-time. So this is how you search for opportunities on LinkedIn. Now, if you wanted to look for groups, then you just go to the drop-down bar and you change it from jobs to groups, and you see all the groups that are related to operations manager. So again, you can't be fired from your purpose. You're gonna always have the ability to pursue purpose, and I encourage everyone to use your purpose to solve problems that are in the world. There are people who are waiting on you, and I see Veronica's asking, am I sharing my screen? So let me share my screen again, because apparently at some point my screen wasn't sharing. So let me just share it again. Thank you, Veronica, for that. Thank you, Leah, for saying that you are feeling inspired. I'm glad that this is inspiring for you. And thank you, Dawn, for saying that this episode deserves more views. So thank you, and thank you everyone who is watching. So these are the groups for Operations Manager. There are 984 groups that have Operations Manager. And if someone wants to drop a job title or a role in the chat on YouTube, I'll be sure to search that really quickly while I'm here. If you wanted to look for people who had operations manager in their profile, you could do that. If you wanted to look for posts that had operations manager, you could do that. If you wanted to look for courses that are related to operations manager, you could do that. If you wanted to look for events related to operations manager, there aren't any, but you could search if you wanted to. If you wanted to look for services related to operations manager, you can see who's providing those types of services. And then I'm going to go back to jobs, because again, you can see the different jobs that are available. You can change this by experience level. If you're looking for a director role or an executive role, you can check both of those and do show results. And so there's a variety of opportunities. Over 99 in the Jackson, Mississippi area. If you wanted to switch it back to remote, then you can see that there are still over 99 results. There's a head of operations with CalStart that's remote, posted within the last 2 weeks. You can see over 100 people have applied for that opportunity. So that is just for example. So hopefully you're able to see the screen sharing. I know Veronica asked a question about that. And thank you, Leah, for saying that you're feeling inspired. And thank you again, everyone, for watching live. So again, Upwork, great platform to use if you want to look for freelance opportunities. LinkedIn has both opportunities for traditional roles in the workforce and opportunities for you to provide consulting by listing your services on LinkedIn. And thank you, Veronica, for confirming that you can see my screen. So, are there any other questions before I close out today? I hope that this was inspiring for many of you and hope that it inspired you to pursue purpose, to align from purpose, and I hope it encouraged you to know that your purpose can never be fired. And so I'm looking to see if there are any other questions, and if there are not, I'm going to play another promotional video about the Purpose Aligned Life Premium Group Coaching Program. We are kicking off another cohort at the end of this month. And if you are someone who's been aligned with purpose, but you have a greater desire to impact those around you, a greater desire to even better align with purpose, and if you're someone who wants to write a book, you want to author a book, you want to launch a podcast or launch a coaching program, the Purpose Aligned Life Group Coaching Program is for you. I'll be putting that link in the chat to schedule a complimentary Zoom session to learn more. But I don't see any other questions in the chat. So thank you all for tuning in today for this very, very special episode of Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Today we have focused our discussion today on being purpose-driven. Your purpose can't be fired. And for anyone whose purpose is unemployed, or if you are unemployed and you're looking for opportunities, today's session gave information that was crucial in allowing you to deploy your purpose to solve problems in the world as a freelancer, or if you're looking for the traditional workforce. So thank you again for tuning in. The next episode of Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson will be on this Thursday, May the 14th at 6:30 in the evening Eastern Time, for those of you who are on Eastern Time. So thank you so much for tuning in. You'll hear this special promotion on the Purpose Aligned Life Premium Group Coaching Program, and I hope to see you all on Thursday on another episode of Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Be purposeful today and every day. Make it an amazing week.
Dreaming of writing a book, launching a podcast, or creating a digital course? Ready to finally align your career, creativity, and impact? The Purpose Aligned Life Premium Coaching Cohort is here to help you turn purpose into reality. You'll receive tailored services, a personalized one-on-one assessment, 10 weekly group sessions, and exclusive strategy session, all for your desired transformation. Dreaming of writing a book, launching a podcast, or creating a digital course? Ready to finally align your career, creativity, and impact? The Purpose Aligned Life Premium Coaching Cohort is here to help you turn purpose into reality. You'll receive tailored services, a personalized one-on-one assessment, 10 weekly group sessions, and exclusive strategy session, all for your desired transformation.